Thank you. Porridge and Pens has been my life's work. From a very young age, I remember feeling deeply moved by adverts like WaterAid that I'd see on the TV. And I really struggled to grasp how one child's life could be so different to mine. So I packed my bags and left my little town in Brightlingsea, Essex, for Ghana when I was 18. I funded a volunteer teaching placement and lived with a wealthy Ghanaian couple. They owned a slave, Mabel. She was sold to the family when she was age 7 by her father, and she worked for free as a maid ever since. I have permission tonight to share her story and some photos of some of our other beneficiaries. Mabel was 14 when we first met. She did all our cooking, cleaning, washing. She was the most unhappy person I'd ever met. Going to school wasn't and still isn't free in Ghana, so Mabel didn't go. I soon realised that teaching 60 girls that were just a little bit younger than me was really quite tricky. Other teachers used the cane freely and at times severely. So, feeling lost together, Mabel and I started to hang out doing the chores. On the weekends, we'd spend lots of time at the nearby Mother Teresa orphanage. I'll always remember the day we took in a girl called Mary, about 5 years old. She had severe burns. Her father thought she had the devil trapped inside her, so she'd been tied to a tree by the villagers and they poured petrol all over it. A few days later, a baby was abandoned because he was born with a tooth, which is considered unlucky. I was born with 2 teeth. How lucky I was to be born British. Over the past 15 years, I've thrown everything into Porridge and Pens. So today, we now support over 500 children and young people with 4 simple tools: school, food, safe shelter, and determined Ghanaian staff. We have over 40 partner schools and universities for our students and a small refuge for anyone who finds themselves homeless. Our first school partnership started in 2013 in a rural town. With one community, we fundraised to help build that school, now known as the Brightlingsea Academy. It was one of the first cane-free, abuse-free schools in Kumasi, and it still is. We challenge the norm with what we do. Just because you're born in an orphanage doesn't mean you can't grow up and graduate as a midwife. And this is Paulina doing that last month. This is Ophelia. We found her living on the streets in 2017. She's now training to be a nurse, and she's just completed her first clinical placement. This is Akwasi. He's an 11-year-old orphan boy, and he lives alone with his brothers in the bush. He lost his leg just before his mother, Anita, passed away. But he proudly comes to the Brightlingsea Academy every day with the most pristinely clean uniform you'll ever see. Last year, we tried something different. We asked ourselves, what could we do in our school communities that would really tackle poverty head on? So we piloted a scheme called Startup. We offered 5 small business grants and weekly mentoring to families who lived within our school communities. They all had some kind of existing business and had proven themselves to us as hard workers. Our monitoring data shows that lots of our families still fail to provide their children with an evening meal or a mattress to lie on. We knew with a small boost to their business, we could make a difference to things like this. Over the year, we tracked their progress and we've seen phenomenal results. This is Mr. Omeng and his daughter Miriam. They both have rickets, which affects their movements, but they're incredibly talented designers. So alongside weekly mentoring, we purchased him new workbenches and an industrial sewing machine. So he now produces his work 20 times faster compared to his previous handheld machine. His profits are up over 40%. He has now been able to support some of his daughter's medical treatment. I actually brought one of their designs back with me from Ghana. So we encourage all of our businesses to give back, and we have now an Etsy shop set up online, and we sell some of these things on it. So with proven results, we would like to fund 20 new businesses across our project communities, 10 within our first partner school and 10 closer to our refuge centre. The process is vigorous, the initial application and the interview to the weekly monitoring and the accounts inspections. The model makes vital life changes, and we have it perfected and ready to expand. With £10,000, we could level up 10 small businesses, providing a grant for worth £700 and safeguard our project managers' wages alongside some other vital core costs. I got back from Ghana a few weeks ago and was lucky enough to meet Sarah again, a mother of 3 of our students at one of our partner schools, Brightling Sea Academy. She might be deaf, but this really hasn't stopped her. She sells drinks and fried bow fruit to teachers every day. She would love an oven and some equipment to bake cakes so she could upscale. Let me end now with Mabel. So after returning home and training as an actual teacher, I managed to pay for Mabel to go to boarding school, and she left her life behind as a maid. She studied so hard, and despite hardly going to school before, she graduated after 5 years with a diploma in catering. Today, you'll find Mabel working happily at her beautiful, successful shop in Tafo, Kumasi, with her small daughter and her husband. Thank you.